So, if you are watching this and I've already recorded this video, then you can obviously skip forward through. And if you're watching this and already recorded it, know that I am trying out something new right now. See if this might be a little better, easier for me, where I can continue to produce content for you guys a little more regularly and more consistent, while also having the time to do so without all the editing. So I am trying this live thing where I'm doing it Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Every time I turn on the camera, you want to bark. Every time. I have a hamburger, actually, a cheeseburger that I made sitting on the table, and that is why he's barking, I'm realizing. So there's two people in the room that I see right now. Juicy, I'm about to put you outside. So let me know who you are so I can say hello. Guys, so unprofessional. I'm so sorry. I gotta get rid of my dog. Alasia! Can you please get rid of Juicy? Because he keeps barking. And I'm like live right now. This is very unprofessional. Hey Celine, how are you? Hey Glenda. Yeah, so as I did mention before, this video, you know what? Hold on, guys, because Alasia, get Juicy out. He's gonna bark the entire time. Do me a favor and put the burger in the kitchen.
I'm trying to on the video because I can't pick it up, but she doesn't want to do it.
Just put it in the kitchen on the counter and like take him because he's gonna bark the whole time, and that's like a waste of time. Yeah, I know. I was suggested by someone, so I was like, I'm gonna try it, you know. So yes, 2 nights in a row. I'm gonna check out the video you have because I know I did see that you posted a video, so I'm gonna go check it out. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put your channel down in the description box so people know Celine has her own channel now where she talks about her experience in the ICOC. So I'm gonna put that in the description box as well as the link to my other channel. My head is like half cut off. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not used to sitting this low in my chair. So I'm gonna put that down below. So right. Well, honestly, you don't have to be in the ICOC to understand these videos. You can be a part of any church and any religion, really. You know, it can all go the same. It can be a cult, or it could just be really, really fundamental and very legalistic, and that could affect you and cause trauma. So this channel is for anyone, not just the ICOC, and that's why I try not to talk about the ICOC constantly, because there are a lot of other people that are dealing with things, although this channel did start off that way. All right, so I'm going to start on the topic because I don't want people who are watching this and haven't seen it live to be like, okay, when is she going to get into the conversation? So I want to talk about, first, like last night, I'm going to first just talk about the topic, and then after I'm done, then we can like talk a little bit and you guys could tell me what you want to say, because for now I'm not going to be reading comments. Hey Aaron, thanks for making it. So the Woman of God title, or I don't want to make this into 2 separate videos, but when I was a part of church, not just the ICOC, but just when I was in church in general, I was always talked to about this whole Woman of God title and this God-fearing woman. And men would be like, oh, I want to marry a woman of God or a God-fearing woman. And I always thought, oh, that's me. Like, that's going to be me one day. Because remember, I grew up going to church. I went to church a lot when I was a teen. And I always wanted to be, I don't know what I want to be. I just wanted to be happy. But I can't say I want to be a woman of God. But I always wanted to be, I do know what I want to be. I wanted to feel like I have value. I wanted to feel like I meant something. And I should say this now. If you like this video, please do give me a thumbs up because it does help. And if you're watching right now, please give me a thumbs up. I don't want to be a beggar, but I'm just saying it does help for the channel, and I appreciate it so much. But anyway, thank you for those who gave me thumbs up. I wanted to have value, you know. I wanted to feel like I was worth something, and I didn't really think of it as like I'm gonna be a woman of God per se, like I'm gonna be a woman who's in her Bible and who goes to church and all these things like that. I just wanted to feel like I meant something to someone. So I think that my self-worth and my value was always something that I really paid attention to, and always kind of like my mood would easily shift if I didn't feel valued and loved. And as women, that is something a lot of us deal with. That's something that many of us go through in life, feeling like we have to be validated, which is why you see women out here who are twerking left and right, trying to get men to look at them, who walk around half naked. You see women out here who are posting all these selfies feeling like I have to look good half naked in the selfie. Like, you can look good. Like, I do the crop top thing all the time, and to me there's nothing wrong with it. But you know, then you see women who almost like half naked, and it's like screaming for the attention. You see women out here who are staying in relationships that aren't serving them, relationships where they're being cheated on constantly, and the person they're with is not trying to change, not trying to make them happy. You see women trying to fix a man. You know, this is why I say that if you're on this channel and you're a woman especially, go on to my other channel where I wanted to grow for women like us who are dealing with self-worth and like just self-image issues and confidence issues. And so when I was in church in general, not just ICOC, but just in church, when I was a part of Christianity, I felt like I had to be a certain type of woman. And then when I joined the ICOC, I felt like now I definitely gotta be a whole different type of woman. I have to be the woman, you know, I have to be the woman of God. But I don't know how to do that. I only know how to be me. And this is just an issue with the ICOC. Not every church is like this. But when it comes to the ICOC specifically, they are very big on women being servants and submissive, and that is not my forte. I've said this so many times on this channel. That is not my thing. I was raised by a single mom who's like real strong, and like, not saying they can't be strong, but I mean like a strong nature and like a tough kind of nature, you know. Like, I don't got time for men and their bull crap and this and that. Like, she was like that. She was all about me. That's it. And so I never even saw that example of what a woman is supposed to be like for her husband. But when I got married, and then I also joined the ICOC, I learned differently. I learned that there is a certain type that they expect of you. So while I was in that church, and even other churches I was in before, but especially this church, I went through this feeling, this not phase, but like this moment during my membership where I felt like I didn't have enough value. I felt like if I'm not a certain way, my husband deserves to be with somebody else, or my husband isn't gonna want me at some point, because he's gonna find another woman and she's going to be a real woman of God. And so, shh, quiet. So I'm sorry, guys. Next time I'll be better prepared for this. This is why I really don't like to do lives, but it's kind of convenient for me because I can edit, and now I can't edit, and these are the parts that you don't ever see. Nevaeh, you gotta get Juicy out. Please, take him out. Alright, so anyway, so to the point, the woman of God thing. I say all of that stuff that I just said to say that a lot of us have been a part of a church. Any church, doesn't have to be the ICOC. A lot of us have been a part of a church where we feel like we have to be a certain type of woman in order to please God, and we have to follow these scriptures and these laws. And I'm not making this video to bash that belief or to say that that's wrong. I may have my own opinions about it, but I'm not here to say that that's wrong. I just, my personal opinion, how I feel, and based off of conversations I've had with other women, I see that a lot of women, their self-worth and what they think of themselves, just in general, overall, when it comes to physical, just who they are personality-wise, it goes down pretty low when they're a part of a church that's like the ICOC or like Jehovah's Witnesses or even the Muslim belief. And it seems like we're downplayed in a lot of religions. We're kind of always downplayed. And I know that it could be taken out of context because there are so many people who are part of religion and they twist everything up. You know, there are men who call themselves Christian, but then they think the women are meant to stay home and take care of the kids, and that's it. And then they treat the woman like crap and say, well, this is what God wants. When clearly, if you really read the Bible, that's not what it says. So they're all different people that are mixing and twisting and messing up what the religion really is supposed to stand for. But the problem is that it really can affect a woman how she feels about herself and what she thinks of herself. And so the question is, do you feel like, and I'm not asking this for you guys to answer now, but for you to think for yourself, like, do I feel like I have more value as a woman when I'm a part of Christianity or when I remain in the church compared to now? And this is mostly for people who are like me, who stopped going to church and all those things. Mostly for people like me. But do you feel like you still have value? So I'm not here to tell you not to be a Christian or whatever your religion is, because like I say all the time, that is not what I'm on this earth to do. I'm not here to tear you away from your belief or judge you for it. But I just want you to question yourself and to really think to yourself, am I still going to have value? Do I feel I still have value if I didn't continue with this belief? Do I feel like I have some sort of purpose? Or is my only purpose to fulfill something in this world that God says I need to fulfill? Do I have a purpose without this? And I don't know why I want you guys to ask that question. I kind of feel like it's opening a whole can of worms, and it might start some stuff, or might, like, I don't want to make anyone feel bad about themselves. I don't want to seem like I'm judging or anything like that. I'm just really going off of conversations that I do have with women that do hit me up sometimes and ask me for advice and tell me how they feel. I realize the main issue with every woman I've ever spoken to from this channel since I've started this channel, they oftentimes have this feeling of like no self-worth. And just the other day, I just started thinking about it, and I was like, you know, I have a lot of self-worth. Like, I honestly can truly say I value myself so much more now, regardless of what other people out there may think of me. I know me more than anyone. I value myself and love myself so much more now than I did when I was a part of religion, because I don't try to compare myself to other women like I did before. I don't try to talk myself down. I don't tell myself, well, you should be doing this because this is what's supposed to be like, and this is what you're supposed to do, and this is how it's supposed to be. And I don't do that. I embrace myself. I accept myself. And I do believe we could do that even if we are a part of religion, but not many of us do. Many of us end up saying, oh, I'm Christian, but beat ourselves up when we don't fulfill a certain standard, like when we don't reach a certain height in our spiritual growth, in our spiritual journey. And this goes for every religion. And then we feel like we're not enough, and we feel like, oh, I'm not doing enough. I should be cooking more. It could be something as simple as that. I should be cooking more. I should be doing the laundry for him. I mean, you know, I really should do this more, or I should start dressing this way. I should start acting like this. I should be nicer and like keep my comments and my thoughts and my opinions to myself and not express how I feel. I should just, whatever my husband wants, I should just go for it, and that's it, and that's how it's supposed to be. And then we walk away feeling emptier than we did before a few minutes ago, because now we feel like damn, I really feel like so shelled in. I feel like I cannot live and breathe who I really am because I'm supposed to fit a category. I'm supposed to be this quiet serving wife. So this is not an open conversation for some sort of debate on why you're supposed to be a servant, because to be honest, like, I don't care about that, because I do not follow that religion, so I don't care. I do what works for me in my relationship, and that's it. And I expect everyone else to do the same. But this is just for you to think to yourself, if you are that woman who has these issues where you feel like you have no value and you don't know how to fit into the certain category, a certain image of who you're supposed to be as a godly woman, a woman of God, whether you're in a relationship or not. I just speak on relationships because I have the most experience with that, because obviously I have been in a relationship for a long time. But you really have to just think for yourself. And what I would say, if you are one of those women that I've spoken to before that feel, or maybe you've just stumbled on this channel and you do feel less than because you feel like you're not coming up to the height of where you feel the standards are that you should be when it comes to your relationship with God and your belief, then maybe you need to do more self-reflecting. Maybe you need to really learn more of who you are. Learn more of, not just learning, but accepting as well, more of who you are and embracing who you are and allowing yourself to say, I'm imperfect. I have my flaws. I have my moments. Of course, I could get some, I could do some work on maybe my attitude, but I acknowledge it, and I'm going to try my best to do what I can to be the best person I could be, but I'm never going to expect to be perfect. I'm not going to have any expectations of perfection, because perfection is not what I'm aiming for. That's irrelevant, honestly. Like, it's not even about perfection, and that doesn't exist. No one's ever going to be perfect. So instead, I, as a woman that I am today, I'm gonna learn from my lessons. I'm gonna learn from the lessons I'm given, because we get lessons in life and we go through them and we don't learn from them. You have to learn from your lessons. Learning from your lessons is what actually really helps you to learn how to love yourself, because in everything that happens in life, even if it hurts, even if it's hard to go through, I'm sorry, I was just reading Celine's comment real quick. No matter what you go through in life, you're gonna have times where you're going to feel like it's gonna be hard, and I'm talking to I'm talking to my women, but anyone who's listening, obviously, same for you, but especially us women. You're gonna go through stuff. Maybe you're gonna go through a divorce, or you're gonna go through a real painful breakup, or you're gonna, something in a relationship, something that's gonna hurt. You're gonna get hurt. You're gonna have really hard moments. You're gonna lose friends, which usually are for the better. But you have to use that as lessons, not repeat the same mistake. You go through a tough divorce, make sure your next marriage, if you decide to get married again, is different. Maybe you do things a little differently in the relationship. You have a tough breakup, maybe the next guy you get with should be better than the last one, like whatever it is, but we have to continue to grow. And when I started doing that, I started to really learn how to love myself. And I didn't love myself before that, because I was repeating the same cycles and feeling bad about myself and trying to be someone I'm not. Like, I kept on trying to be these other women that was around me in church, and down to talking like them, dressing like them, all of that. And I can't, because that's not me. They will talk to their husband all nice and calm and quiet and sweet, and I'm like, I can't. Like, I try, I try to do that, and he knows me. He knows that was just a time in my life when I had it really, really tough, because I didn't feel like I was being myself, and I didn't feel like I was really living out my life the way I should be. I felt like I wasn't doing much. I felt like I was doing the bare minimum, and there was so much more I wanted in my life, but I was always shut down and told to go back into my little box, because this is what you're supposed to do. You're a woman of God. I'm telling you, I was so nervous to make this video for some reason, and I think this is probably why, because I just don't want people to get the wrong idea of what I mean, but same time, I'm not going to stop myself and keep my mouth shut for people who may take what I say out of context or may take it personal. I do apologize if you're taking what I say personal, although I'm not saying anything to hurt anyone. This is just my own opinion, and again, I'm not saying that if you are a part of religion and you do believe that women have a role to play and they have to be a servant and all of that, if that works for your relationship and it works for you to be a stay-at-home mom and works for you to be the one who cooks and cleans and does all that stuff and to serve your husband before you serve the kids, I mean, that's what they teach in ICOC, then if that works and you're happy and your partner is happy and your family is together, then continue doing that. For me, it doesn't work for us. We just don't do it that way. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I used to come down on myself for that, but that is okay. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I want to say. I just really want you to, if you're hurting and you're going through like this feeling of I'm not enough, I'm worthless, I didn't make it to the woman of God title that I was supposed to make it to, like I'm just not there. I mean, they used to give me books to teach me how to be a godly woman, to teach me how to be a certain way. And I was going through the books the other day, I got rid of it, I like gave it away or whatever. But if you're going through that emotion and you feel like you don't, like you can't be who you are because you're supposed to fit a certain kind of, a certain I forget what you call it. I'm horrible at words, I'm sorry guys, and I want to be a freaking speaker, but I suck at saying things. If you want to fit a certain mold, that's the word I'm looking for, you're just gonna end up feeling like crap about yourself. You're gonna end up feeling like you're never gonna make it because you can't. You're not meant to fit that mold. Like, that's the point. You're not meant to fit that mold. You're meant to be who you are. You're meant to fit your mold. You're meant to grow and to learn and to not be perfect, because perfection won't teach you anything. You won't learn anything if you're trying to fit a mold. You just won't. And the reason why so many of us women go through so much and we deal with so much pain is because, and resentment especially, is because we're so busy trying to fit a mold all the time. Like, that's not how it works. We can't do that. We have to love ourselves more. We just have to love who we are and accept that this is who we are. And though we may need work, it's okay. I need a lot of work all the time. The right person is going to love you through that. They're not going to put you down. They're not going to make you feel like, well, you know, in the Bible, this woman did this now. Like, no, they're not. They're going to be there for you and work their way with you. And that's a relationship. That's what it's about. It's about you being yourself and being comfortable in who you are and accepting, embracing who you are, while also working on who you are and being with someone who could be there and be patient and love you unconditionally through this process, because it's a lifelong process. And then after that, once you master that, then you'll see that you'll start loving yourself more. Then you'll see that you have 100% value. You will look at yourself and say, I'm freaking beautiful. Like, I don't have to look like that person or dress like that person or have her personality. I don't have to be the one that jumps up in the front row, woo, praise Jesus. Like, if I'm quiet in church and I'd rather sit quietly and listen and observe, that's just me. That doesn't mean I love God less. It doesn't mean I'm not a woman of God. That's just me. And these may sound like simple things, but these are things that happened to me. This is why I'm speaking on it now, because these are thoughts I had. I always felt like I wasn't doing something right. And plus, on top of that, I'm real critical of myself in general. I mean, I felt growing up, my mom was like, used to kind of criticize me a lot. So, like, not in a horrible way, but a bad enough way that I guess, like, I was always hard on myself, and I'm like that now. So it just multiplies. Like, And that's why we seek so much validation. And when you're a part of religion and you're seeking validation, then you're piling up. So now not only do you need validation from other people that really don't matter, but you need validation from the person you're in a relationship with. You need validation from your family. You need validation from your friends. You need validation from God now. Oh, that's difficult. You need validation from everybody in church, especially the leaders and the pastor and your discipling partner, whoever is in the ICOC. We had discipling partners. You need validation for everything, and it's too much, and it piles up and it piles up and it piles up, and then I'm not a good enough mom, I'm not a good enough wife, I don't do enough at work, I'm not productive enough. Like, it's too much. Like, we need to just learn to let it all go and to just start over again from scratch and just learn a lot of self-love. So that's really all my message was about. So now, like, I'll read what you guys are saying, and I hope that this topic helps anyone, even just a few people. I followed my intuition and felt like I needed to make this video, so I made the video. So I'm gonna look now and see what the comments are. Okay, so Celine said, I hope my testimony and channel can benefit people in some way or another. Tina, you got to check out this channel called Girl Defined. They are the sisters from Texas. All right, so I'm going to have to write that down so I remember. And if you share your story and you live in your truth, you're going to touch so many more people than you think. Trust me. You really will. Just don't search for subscribers. Look just solely to help someone else and to just share your own story and to make people feel like you're relatable. You know what I mean? And when you do that, then like the subscribers will build, even if it's slowly, you know, and you'll start seeing people gonna reach out to you. You're gonna have people that's gonna want to reach out to you. So I would definitely make sure I have like social media or email out, because that works. And it's like the most rewarding feeling when you do have people who see your videos and they're like completely touched by it. And by the way, if you're watching this video and I've already uploaded it, you can go now, because this is now just a part where I'm checking messages and I'm allowing you guys to speak in return. I'm just reading through. I gotta find another way to do this because it's awkward, because I have to get real close and read, and I'm like, I feel like I'm all in the screen, but then my eyesight sucks and my contacts, I need like new prescription. Oh, all right. Proverbs 31. Oh, I should have wrote some down, but I had such a busy day at work today. I have any time, even on my lunch break, to jot down any notes, because I wanted to do that with the Proverbs, but I was constantly directed towards Proverbs. I was just like, you know, a woman of God or a Jezebel. Yes. Pure or impure. Yes. Yes. That plays on our insecurities. That's actually what I forgot to talk about. The whole thing with this topic too. It plays on your insecurities when you're told that you're not a true holy woman of God, and you're not a God-fearing woman, and oh, I can't be with you, I only want to be with a woman of God. It plays on your own insecurities and your self-doubt, and you feel like damn, I'm not enough, you know. Okay, so pendulum swing, you're either one degree or the other. I always hated the God's plan for my life mantra. I was like, well, do I get a vote and what the plan for my life is? And they were like, well, God has his plan, and I'm just supposed to swallow that plan and be a good little soldier and obey. Celine, you sound so much like me, because that's exactly how I felt. Yep, it's either one extreme or the other when clearly life is balanced in every way. I agree with you. My contacts are like, I need my eye drops. That's how I felt too. I always felt like, oh, you have to be this good, quiet little girl. Don't speak. You know, just keep your mouth shut. Be this good little quiet girl and meek and blah, blah, blah. And that's not me. I'm not a quiet. I can barely whisper. Like, I was at work today and I was talking about my coworker and she's literally sitting right there. And I'm talking and her back is here and I'm like, oh, yeah. And I'm talking about trying to hook her up with somebody else at work or whatever. And then she turns around and she's like, Tina, you know I'm not deaf. I can hear you. I know you're talking about me and him or whatever. And I was just like, oh. And then my other coworker's like, yeah, Tina, you don't know how to whisper. I don't. So I don't even know how to be this meek, silent, godly woman. Not saying that every Christian thinks that that's what a godly woman is, but listen, I'm a whole work in progress. You can ask Vernon. I've been a work in progress for quite some time. I'm still working on myself because I still got a lot of problems that I wanna work on, but that's the difference now, is that before I denied it because I didn't want to admit that I had problems, because by admitting that I did have problems, I was admitting that I wasn't fulfilling a certain standard. I wasn't reaching a certain standard. And at least that's how I thought. So that made it hard for me to be able to work on the issues I really had, or to work on certain little, flaws or little things that, that doesn't work in a relationship. I mean, not that you have to change who you are, but you always have to make sure you're working on yourself. You have to make sure that you're progressing somewhere. You can't stay stagnant. I don't believe in being stagnant. So does anyone have any questions or any things you guys want to say? Because this is your time. This is your time. They told me when I talked about the dreams for my life, God was for my life was, I'm sorry, I gotta read it again. They told me when I talked about the dreams for my life, God has a better plan, and you're not doing God's plan for your life. So you went to a church that it was evangelists, right? So I dealt with similar. I was always told I had to do God's plan. I had to do what God wanted, and that God would make sure that I do what he wanted. I fulfill his will, and it didn't matter what I wanted. I too didn't get a vote, and I just had to run with it. And I was just like, I have a perfect example, actually. When I was real young, okay, I understand. When I was really young, my mom said to me that she had a vision. She always says that she has like the gift of visions and stuff like that. So she said she had a vision that I was in a church, my dad's church, because my dad was a pastor. He passed away. And I was in his church, and I was at like the pulpit or whatever, the altar. And that I was like ministering. I was wearing a robe. And I looked at her. I remember I looked at her. I was like, no, that definitely wasn't me. You sure it was me? And she was just like, oh, I have this vision. And I was just like, but I was young, so I didn't get it. And I never really pictured myself to be like a pastor. So I was just like, yeah, but what if that's not what I want to do? And she was like, oh, you're going to want to do it. It's what God wants. And I was just like, yeah, but what if I don't want to do it? And she was like, well, you don't have to worry about that, because when that time comes, God is going to make sure you want to do it. So I was confused. I was like, so God's going to make me want something that I naturally don't want? Why can't it be natural? And so that was just like, I didn't like how I felt. Like I didn't get a vote. I didn't feel like I got a vote. But obviously, I'm not at a pulpit. Actually, never been at a pulpit before. As I say pulpit, Aaron says, I hated when they used, I'm sorry, this thing keeps disappearing every time I read it. I hate it when they used to hug you or hold your arm, but hugs I hated. I don't like to be touched much. That's funny. I don't like to be touched much, and I told them that, but still every Sunday yeah, they're not very good. I think you're referring to the ICOC, right? They're not very good at giving you your like sense of like privacy when it comes to circumference. Like, they're not good at boundaries at all. Physical limitations is nothing for them. They will invite themselves to sit right next to you when you really just want to sit by yourself. Like, I remember there were times I would go to church and I was just like, I kind of want to be by myself. I'll sit somewhere, maybe like, oh sis, I'll come sit with you. And I'm just like, I was kind of hoping you wouldn't see me. That's why I'm sitting back here. I'm not sitting back here because I'm depressed. I just want to be by myself. So I had to kind of like learn how to just deal with the fact that people in the church were going to hover around me and hug me all the time and pretend they like me, you know, because I mean, some people like you, but some people don't like you. They just pretend to like you because they're in the church and because damn it, let's just say it, a lot of people in the ICOC are fake as hell. So they, you know, oh sis, and then they're talking about you and you're just like, oh, so you're talking about me, you know, like you're talking about you behind your back, and then you find out through word of mouth, because there's always like that one snitch. There's like multiple people. There's the snitch, there's the gossiper, there's the one who starts it, there's the one who ends it. Like, everyone has a role in that church. It's funny. But honestly, not everyone in the ICOC is horrible. Like, I've met some pretty good people. There was people who are genuine, you know, they were genuine. There's some crappy people, but it's like neighborhoods. Like, there's crappy people everywhere. You could live in a good neighborhood and there could be crappy people, and then there could be great people. It's like that. Weird analogy, but just the first thing came to mind. The thing that happened was this moments. Precious Moments Bible. When I was young, I had a little Bible too, but it was green and it was super small. It's like a tiny pocket Bible. I actually, I'm gonna ask my mom if she has it. I have a feeling she does. That's one Bible I would never get rid of. I've gotten rid of my Bibles, but, well, no. One of them I threw away. I'll talk about that afterwards. But my other Bibles I like gave away. But that's one Bible I would never get rid of because, I don't know, I just held so many memories. But it was just like this tiny little green Bible. I think it was in Spanish, as a matter of fact. I think it was. And we used to go to the Spanish church. And I, like, scribbled in it. And I felt like I was reading it, like I was pretending, just so I could look like I was doing something. I used to play with it. That's the one Bible I would never get rid of. Oh, I had an NIV teen devotional Bible too. Do I still have it? I think I might, or I might not anymore. I actually liked it. I think the teen Bibles is really good. I was reading the teen devotional. They were like, the teen devotional Bible is easier to read. I was like, I can't. Yeah, in the ICOC, they prefer you to read the NIV. Like, they don't like people reading anything else also. It's weird. In Memphis, he left the church when he became an adult. He doesn't talk about it death. I learned so much from watching you. Oh, I'm so glad. Inez, I'm so glad. I appreciate you watching the channel. Does it like affect him? Like, do you know it affects him, or is it like something he was able to brush off since he's left the COC? Oh, you threw your Bible away. I threw away my Bible that I used when I was in the ICOC because that one has so much negativity, like negative energy attached to it. It made me feel real negative. I ripped it up and I threw it out, and I was gonna vlog it, and then I ended up deleting that vlog because I cried the whole time. Like, I was ripping it up. I was like, but I was angry. Like, I went through this like moment where I just got so angry. I started shaking and I just started tearing at it, and then I went outside down the hall and threw it out in the incinerator. The perfect image the leaders put forth is so misleading. They act that way for the world to see. Yeah, exactly. That perfect image is all fake. Because no one's perfect, and that's okay. Did they mention yeah, no, the ICOC was really being the Lord of your life. Like when you get baptized in the ICOC, they ask you, I forget how they ask. You have to say, they ask you a question. I can't remember somehow. If someone remembers, just say it for me real quick. When you get baptized, I think right before they dunk you, you have to say like Jesus is Lord or something like that. And you had to proclaim it out loud. Like you couldn't just get dunked in the water. You had to proclaim it first, Jesus is Lord, and then you get thrown in. I don't think I've ever shown you guys my pictures of when I got baptized. I have like 2 pictures. I should show you guys. I kind of get like ugh when I see it, because it just brings me like these bad thoughts. Not because there's anything wrong with baptism, but because just what comes with it. Because shortly after I was baptized, I started going through this whole thing, and I started going through like this depression and stuff. So it's just not good memories for me. More now, I understand what he went through. Yeah, Inez, I'm happy your husband got out. I'm really happy, because church is no joke. It could really mess with your head, and it's so deceiving, because you go in there and you'll have no idea what you're walking in. So they'll make you believe that everything they do is normal, and like they're the most normal, sweetest, sincerest people. But once you learn what they're really about, and you start to like stumble upon secrets, and you start to stumble upon stories, and hear of things, and see people that are getting hurt left and right, then you start to realize like, wait a minute, and that's when you know you've been brainwashed. I feel bad for the people who never make it out. Well, we'll definitely make that happen, Celine. I'm actually fixing my laptop tomorrow. I can't deal with that. I can't even edit without my laptop. Yeah, I was told the same thing, Celine. Like, basically, if Jesus is not your Lord and Savior, and you don't follow him and get baptized completely in water, then you won't be saved. You won't go to heaven. That's what they would say. It's so sad, because people stress out over that. Like, when they told me that, all that kept running through my mind was, oh my God, well, what's gonna happen to all the people in my life that I love, that I'm friends with, that I'm family with, and when they die, like, I gotta get them in this church. They gotta get baptized. I just freaked out the whole 7 years I was in that church. I know you think I'm going to hell. Laugh about myself. Oh man. Wait, you said they think you're going to hell. Who thinks you're going to hell? The people in your church, or the people in the ICOC? Are you talking about the people in the ICOC? Oh, you're 100% burning in flames. They won't say it. They won't say you're going to go to hell. But they'll say, we want to see you make it to heaven. Which obviously, if I don't make it to heaven, then where do you think I'm going to go? So you're saying I'm going to hell. They just don't admit it. But please, imagine how they feel about me. I have like freaking first class tickets there. I was told when really was the best friends. I wish I could make it so the comments would stay up. They put the assignment requirements as a part of the summer. Yeah, and our church, it was the same. Sounds like he was in like the church like ours. Because you had to be a you had to have a discipling partner. Like right away, as soon as I was baptized, they assigned me to a discipling partner. And I was like, well, damn, that's fast. I had to tell her everything. I had a lot of stuff to unload. But I didn't do it because I wanted to, you know. Again, I did it because I thought I had to, because this is what you have to do if you want to be a true disciple of Christ and be saved and go to heaven. It's tough. It's hard to be in a church or a part of a religion where you feel like you have to choose. You can't be who you are. You have to choose between who you really are and who people are telling you need to be, you should be. It's really hard when you don't question. When you just go with it without question, but in your mind and your heart, you know you should be questioning it. Ugh, that sounds like way too many rules for me, Celine. That sounds like a lot. It's overwhelming. My mother-in-law started his church. Oh, you mean your mother-in-law started going to his church? The cart must come with the horse. That sounds like a lot of work, Celine. Like, that sounds, I'm getting overwhelmed thinking about it. It's just too many things you gotta do. You gotta do this. And then the Bible doesn't say that that's all works. You know, like, it's not what it says. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That makes me feel more happy now that I'm not part of religion anymore, because I don't have to worry so much about trying to do all these things. Earthly consequences. Okay, so, okay, cool. I mean, well, what do you follow, Celine? Do you, are you still, I've always kind of wanted to ask you that. Are you still a part of religion? Like, what do you believe now? Are you a Christian? I'm sorry if you guys hear my dog barking the entire time. He really wants my burger. He's not getting it. He's like, the more he barks, the less I'm gonna want to share anything with him. Oh, okay. Ezra. Yeah, you know what's funny? I always question that once saved, always saved. Because when I was in the ICOC, they told me that. They told me at first that if I get baptized, I always have like a fresh start. Like, I'm always saved. So I'm like, well, then why the hell you guys keep telling me you hope I make it to heaven? I thought I did what I had to do. Like, I paid my fare. I got baptized and I claimed Jesus as Lord. What happened? I don't know. They confuse me. They say like, oh, you always be saved, and then I leave, and then they're telling me I'm going to hell. At this point, I don't know where I'm going, because I don't really believe so much in heaven and hell. I believe that there is something. I believe in two different things, to be honest. I'll tell you guys what I believe. I believe that when we die, we either reincarnate, our soul carries on into another body or even into an animal, or we become a part of nature in some way. We become somehow like a part of the particles. I don't know, it sounds really weird. I feel like the particles kind of like, this sounds crazy, I know, trust me. I've thought about this so many times, but I like the thought of it. I'm not saying I'm right. Don't make fun. But I think that like our soul and our energy lives on. It's eternal. And it's like fairy dust. Ding, 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 fairy dust. And then we become something else. Or we have to fulfill a purpose, a mission. And if we don't fulfill it in this lifetime, we come back and fulfill it hopefully in the next. And you become a guardian angel. It's like you're getting your badge. It's like, bakang, now you got your badge, you're a guardian angel, congrats. But you can't do that until you fulfilled all of your life purposes, your missions in every life you've lived, then you could become a guardian angel. And that's when I think people see, they say they see their angel or something like that. That's just what I think. But you know what? I could be 1,000,000% wrong. Like I could be so wrong, but I don't think there's anything wrong with believing what you believe when it comes to the afterlife. I think that the problem comes in when you tell other people they need to believe what you believe. Because then it's like me saying, I believe in Santa Claus. Like, what? I believe in Santa Claus. But how do you believe in them? Because I do. He's real. How? You have to believe in them too. But how can you believe in them? Like, I don't understand how you believe in them. You expect me to believe in them too? And I'm just telling you, no, but I believe in Santa. Like, you have to believe in Santa. But I don't. I don't believe in Santa. There are people in real life, and I just found out not too long ago, there are people in real life who believe in fairies. And I was just like, that's a thing? Like, people actually think Tinkerbell is real? And I started dying laughing because I never, ever thought fairies were real. There are people who believe in fairies and magical dragons or whatever. It's a real thing. Look it up. There's people who actually claim they've seen them. And I think it sounds insane, but that's just because that's not my belief. But that doesn't mean that I have to tell other people they're crazy. And that doesn't mean that the people who do believe in it should be telling me I need to believe in it, because I'm with them like, you're crazy as hell. That sounds insane. So that's what I think about the afterlife. I think everyone has the right to believe what they believe when it comes to afterlife, especially if it helps you feel less scared of dying. Yeah, Selena, you're a good Christian. I could tell you're one of those ones that, like, I can vibe with in some way, because you don't come off, like we spoken many times, you don't come off as one of those, like, oh wait, Tina, let me just talk to you on the phone real quick so I can tell you a Bible verse. Like, no, leave me alone. You know, I've had people do that so many times. It gets kind of annoying because it feels like you're trying to convince me instead of accepting that I don't believe. And I'm happy with where I am, and I don't like feeling like that. So you don't come across as that type to me at all. So I can tell that you're not the type to try to shove your belief down other people's throats. And that's good. I always say we need more Christians like that. I don't believe in putting people down. Like, I'm not here on this channel to put people down who are Christian, because I feel there's, I've said so many times before, many beautiful Christians, and I know them personally. And they're beautiful people with and without religion. So I definitely believe in giving people a chance. I do speak to people who don't like Christians at all. If you tell them you're a Christian, you believe in Jesus, and you serve the Lord, they shut you off completely. I don't think that's right, because I wouldn't want a Christian doing it to me. You know what I mean? So I don't want anyone to ever feel like that's how I'm gonna think. Yeah, I can only imagine how that has to be, Aaron. I mean, I think about that too. Like, am I gonna start to suddenly believe more when I'm at this moment in my life where things are starting to kind of shift, and feels like, wow, like, what if something could happen? Am I going to start to feel like I need God, like, or think to myself like, oh no, what if I've been living wrong the whole time? I just try to live every day, every moment, every hour, every minute, every second of the day with a ton of freaking gratitude. And I say to myself, okay, Tina, if you're wrong, then you're wrong, but you don't know if you're wrong because you're still here. So instead of worrying about whether you're wrong or not, try living your life and being happy and trying to be a light to other people and to share your heart with other people, because people out here need that. And I'm sure that no matter what God we have, I'm sure that God would love that, you know, for us to live our life in a way where we can live and try to be the best people, the best and most honest authentic individual and be there for other people and love other people at the same time, because there's so many crappy people in this world. A lot of people start to feel like, oh, well, I'm good now, and then look down on other people once they become Christians. And I'm not gonna lie, I did that a little bit too when I was in ICOC. I mean, they like to compare a lot, so it's hard for me not to. I would like look at other people, not really look down on them and, like, as if I'm better, but I would look at them and think to myself like, oh, I feel bad for this person because this person over here is not even a Christian. Like, where are they gonna go? Oh, I'm glad that at least I got my card. I'm good. And I slacked off a little at times, and I felt bad about myself for doing so. But religion, I just feel, complicates so many things, especially if people don't understand it. I just think that people need to just do what feels right for them and makes them feel good. And I know people hate that, and there's so many people against that, but I just feel like people need to go with what feels right and what puts them at peace. And if that is Jesus and the Bible, then go for it. Why not? Just, as long as people don't try to put other people down for not doing it. For me, it's spirituality, but I'm not going to try to put other people down for not following spirituality, because of the fact that I have to respect that other people do have their own set of beliefs. Other high demand, Daniel, no, not really. Jewish people. Like a year ago, I wanted to make videos on the Jews, and I watched a couple of documentaries, but I wanted to make sure that I did enough research and got it right, because there's different type of Jewish people. I don't know, maybe I should still do that sometime. But my personal opinion, that's a cult too, from the stuff I've seen. It depends on how extreme. Like the extreme Jews, I think that the Amish, that's a cult. That's definitely, if you like learn about the Amish, it's very interesting though. Like they have a certain way they live their life, and I could respect it a lot. But the thing I don't like is that whole shunning thing. They're 100% down with shunning. Once you're down with shunning, I'm like, nope, you're a cult. It's terrible. It's sad. I know, Daniel. It is very similar. I actually did a collab probably like last year with someone who I'm